Hello, fam.
What's going on, everybody?
Good morning.
All right. Okay, only 7 minutes late.
Not too shabby.
That's my line. You've been hanging around me too much.
I know.
You're really pretty.
4 years.
I like looking at you.
Practically every day for 4 years almost. 4 years in 2 months.
Something like that. We got topics. Before we get into the topics, so you just sent me what your ideas were for this week.
Yes.
Well, kind of yours/ours. I have a couple things on the list. Nope, that's not it. Mm-hmm. Weekly chat. I got a couple of things. One that I meant to talk about last week.
Get a room.
What's up, Dustin? If you guys didn't know, Dustin and I had a really good chat yesterday. We talked about calories, and as usual, we talked about more than just calories. So the intent was to talk about calories and my thoughts, our thoughts on how applicable they are to your journey. But we also ended up talking about body positivity. We talked about mindset. We talked about habits. We talked about self-awareness. We talked about all the good, fun stuff that really makes a difference. So go to his page, his YouTube channel, Keto Simple, if you haven't been there already, and check that out. We did that yesterday, so I think it's up there. It was a live we did, so it's definitely up there now.
Yeah, and I got it on my feed from Dustin's YouTube as well. So it's making the rounds.
And it's on my channel. If you're on my YouTube, I have a playlist of whenever I go on somebody else's YouTube channel, I put that in a playlist on my page, so
you can find them all, including these coffee chats.
Absolutely. All right.
Let's
remind them 2 things.
How we're doing these coffee chats these days.
3 things. Okay. A little bit of a change from what you may have seen in past episodes if you're catching up.
So last week we announced that instead of doing one main topic each week, we are gathering topics throughout the week that we want to talk about, and we're putting them into a list, and then each of these episodes we will tackle as many of them as we have time for.
Hodgepodge, random conversation, potluck. You never know what you're going to get.
Coffee chat potluck.
Coffee chat is like a box of chocolates.
Oh, wow.
Right? I mean, that's what it is, right?
Oh, I wanted to talk about Keto Brains because...
Keto Brains.
Well, a couple of things. As you all hopefully know, if you don't, Keto Brains is giving away a bag of their delicious, amazing nootropic coffee creamer.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
On every single one of our episodes. So, to be eligible to win that, which, y'all, it's not cheap. It's a really good prize. It's what, $50 a bag?
Something like just about,
something like
basically.
That. So, if you're on live with us and you engage with us live, drop comments, ask questions. In particular, we want questions that we can answer on these. Hop on, communicate, chat with each other, chat with us on the live. And if you stay until the end and you are still here, then we will be selecting a winner from those who participated throughout the live and stay on.
Absolutely. And let's just say hi to people that are on right now. First of all, Dustin, thank you very much. We got a $5 super chat.
Aw,
That's very much appreciated. Thank you. Amy's on Low Carb Spin. I don't know who Low Carb Spin is, but hi, Low Carb Spin. Welcome to the channel. Deb Tasker, Deb Healthy
Nelson,
Mama, Maria.
all our Debs.
Karen's on. Bubbles Has Rules. Jennifer's on. All right. Let's see, anybody else new? Juliana, Evelyn. Evelyn was on the chat yesterday with Dustin. Let's see. All right, and then Emily Rosta.
Oh, she's one of our Academy ladies. Hey,
okay,
Emily.
Awesome.
Instagram is like super quiet today. I've got like two people.
Two people on. That's okay.
This is interesting.
Low Carb Spin is Karen. Hi, Karen. Nice to meet you. Okay, so Keto Brains is one thing. We're changing our format. I wanted to mention about
Keto Brains because they have a product y'all may not be aware of.
Oh, the creatine packs.
That I think is so cool for travel. So for those of you who travel and have had the experience of going through TSA with powders in your bag. And you have gotten stopped, and they have taken out your powders and taken out the contact solution and tested your powders.
It only matters when people do what you do and you put them all in plastic bags. And you have a big bag with a bunch of small plastic bags of all this powder in it. And they're like,
she could be a drug dealer.
This is very interesting.
But so that's like, and you don't want to bring, like I just got a massive tub.
Yeah, you're not bringing a whole tub.
Of creatine from Costco, which by the way, it was on sale for $15 for like
a giant tub.
Giant tub. So I stocked up on that. So creatine is one of the most tricky things to travel with because usually you're buying these big tubs and you don't bring the whole thing. A lot of our protein powders are in bags, so those are easier to travel with. But things like creatine are tricky. So a lot of the time, for myself and Coach Mary Grace, by the way, we will just not bring our creatine. We'll be like, you know what? Yeah. If it's a week or less, it's not going to be long enough for my creatine stores to come down far enough, and I just won't bother bringing it. But if you want to stay on top of your creatine, Keto Brains has little 5-gram packs. It's the perfect amount,
daily dose.
1 per day. If you like the higher dosages for the brain benefits, 2 packs a day would get you that amount, that 10-gram amount. So it's a great thing to buy just to have for when you travel. So I may buy some of that for shows, for the fashion show, for the Olympia, which is my big announcement.
Oh, what is that?
Today, I am posting on my Instagram. It'll be up on my Instagram, the Academy Instagram, Facebook. I'll post it on YouTube as well. That we are doing our next KBB retreat, if you have not heard, in Vegas for the Olympia, the Mr. Olympia competition. So we will be out there, staying in a house together, eating together, training together. We'll be doing posing, workshops, cooking together, all the good things. And myself, Coach Mary Grace, Kristen, which is one of our clients who is doing her first prep this year. All 3 of us will be in the Angel Competition Bikinis fashion show at the Olympia on that Thursday. So that is happening October 8th through the 12th. We are going to be on stage on the 9th. And we'll be training together at Dragon's Lair, the famous Dragon's Lair Olympian gym out there. Probably some other gyms in the area as well, because they have a lot of really cool bodybuilding gyms. So if you want in on that, look for that post. I'll literally be posting it within probably an hour of after we go live.
Yeah, and this is not only for people that are interested in bodybuilding. This is a time for community, for meeting other people that are in your program,
with the ladies.
But it's also an experience that if you've never been to something like this, I've never been to Olympia. I've never been to Arnold.
This is actually going to be my first Olympia.
But just going to a local regional bodybuilding show is a level of inspiration and insight into what is possible that everyone should experience at least once. Going to something that's at this scale, where it's international, it's global, it's massive. There's so much going on and there's so much for you to see and be exposed to, not only what's possible for the human body, what's possible if you really put your mind to it, but the transformations that you see. A lot of the people that are in the thing that you're doing, in the fashion show, they're not all professional bodybuilders. No. They're people who are making transformations, and this is a way for them to say, I've made a change, I've done this. And they're people that are just like a lot of the people that are going. So I think it's super fantastic and something that, and then obviously you get to hang out with her for a few days. So
that's the other powerful piece, is there's something about living together in a house for a matter of days that takes things to a different level.
Yeah.
Right? So what the ladies have shared that have gone on retreats with me in the past is that watching how I operate, and my assistant coach, Mary Grace, the way we operate on our day-to-day basis, how dialed in we are with our nutrition, with tracking things, how we track, the meals we make, the way we make decisions, the activity level, being active together. It's just a whole different level of what you get online when you are in person in this incubator, essentially.
Sure. Well, it's like with, they say if your circle is where you are or where you've been, then you can't get where you want to go. So you have to surround yourself with people who are where you want to be. And the best way to do that, especially if you have access to a coach who's setting up an opportunity, literally what you're doing is you're saying, hey guys, this is where I'm at. You guys are trying to get here. Come watch me do what I do. Because if you want to get where I'm at, you have to do the things that I do. So you get to see that every single day, throughout the day, the things that you don't even have to question about, this is how I'm doing things. There is no hesitation. There is no, oh my gosh, it's just, you just do what you do because that's the lifestyle. So being exposed to what it's like to live a certain way is a game changer. You've got to do it.
And to connect on a deeper level with myself and the tribe. There's only so much we can do in community online. Also, the Olympia Expo that we will be going to. It is the Olympia itself, all the events related to the Olympia, the competitions themselves, and then the expo. It is the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. It is the biggest event of the year worldwide. So it is unlike anything else. And the Arnold is second to that. So
it's the Pro Bowl.
Attending the Arnold is already just expands your world. Not to mention too all the brands you can connect with in the expo. And the really cool thing is I'm seeing more and more brands in our space, in ancestral supplements, ancestral eating, low carb. So it's really cool to see the people who are actually penetrating that world, which we know how difficult that is. So, let's move on. We're just gonna move on.
Okay. So we talked about your thing. We talked about keto brains. We talked about the change. What else?
You have announcements?
Right.
We have a big celebration.
Well, hold on. Nah, I'm not going to worry about that.
No, we are going to worry about that. Yes, we are.
We've got September.
Our September meetup. Come visit us in
September
Northern
20th.
Virginia.
If you're in the East Coast area, the Mid-Atlantic region, DC, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Delaware, even as far down as North Carolina, come on up and join us. We would love to have you. Right now, I think we have about 8 or 10 people who've said that they're coming. We've got a pavilion. We've got room for a lot more. Here's the cool thing, guys. It's free. No cost. Just come, show up, and have a good time.
Come hang out. Bring some food. It's a potluck.
Bring food for everybody. We'll have some food, but can't guarantee we'll have enough for everybody.
You know what?
What?
Did y'all know I won 10 bags of Porking Good birthday cake for sharing and posting and commenting online?
Maybe we can bring that.
One of those before.
We can bring that and give some away.
I will bring some birthday cake Porking Good to share. They are amazing, y'all.
Okay. All right.
So I'm bringing some dessert.
Gotcha.
Dessert pork rinds.
I don't like this flavor.
No.
I'm not a cake person.
He won't miss it.
I won't miss it, so you guys can have some. Now, get me the white cheddar, the nacho cheddar, what's the other one that they got that I like a lot?
You like the butter or something?
The butter, salted butter one?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He likes the cheese ones and the...
ones and the butter. I like all the dairy ones, go figure.
Yeah, right. And I like all the non-dairy, obviously. The dill pickle.
They got a dill pickle one that's pretty good, too.
And the salt and vinegar.
Those are both actually.
You gotta actually careful with the salt and vinegar. You will destroy your mouth.
Yeah.
It is harsh. So don't eat the whole bag when you're doing the salt and vinegar.
I feel like there was another, besides the...
There's a pizza.
No, there is a pizza. That's pretty good. No, besides the meetup, there was something else I wanted to mention, and now it's gone. Okay.
Juliana
Somebody want
asked
a
if she
t-shirt.
should bring cucumbers because she has like 5-pound cucumbers.
Bring cucumbers. Go for it.
Bring pickles because she has 5-pound cucumbers in her garden.
Okay.
Yes, bring us some pickles. I'm
All right.
always down for the pickles.
So we got your topics.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
But wait, before we do that, he wants to be all humble and not mention
I don't want to be all
anything.
humble. It's not that. The thing doesn't really start until next week. That's when the thing that matters starts.
But this matters to me, so I'm going to think about it. For those that didn't know, Bronson has officially graduated from his master's program. So congrats, grad.
Officially on Friday was graduation.
He's a master's grad, and you are now a doctoral
I am
candidate.
now a doctoral candidate. I am officially a Doctor of Health Science candidate, and the program starts on the 25th, whatever day that is. What day is that? Today's the
17th?
17th, so 8
like
days from now.
8 days.
8 days from now, my doctorate program starts. So that's what I'm really focused on. I feel like, yes, the master's is cool, but it's just a stepping stone from where I want to go. So
You don't even care to
I'm
celebrate
kind
it.
of eh.
It's all
If
about
there's
that
anything you
document.
guys need to know about me, it's that I'm a checklist person, and
he's always one step ahead. He's always
don't-
like thinking about the next thing.
yeah. It's like, okay, that's done. Great, what's
But
next?
so you have to take the people
So
like
you have-
this and you have to
yes.
force them to celebrate the steps along the way.
I just want to finish and get to the end. All I care about is getting it done.
That reminds me, yesterday's post on social was about wins.
Yeah.
So going forward, I'm starting to share wins of the week every week on my Academy, Keto Bikini Academy Instagram page. It also goes to Facebook. Because it's so important to celebrate your wins along the way, y'all, because we can get so caught up in the future goals that we start feeling like we're not making progress where we are. So it's incredibly important, y'all. Each week, each day, each month, each quarter, every 6 months, once a year, reflect over what you've done and celebrate yourself and acknowledge yourself for what you are doing.
And it's good to do that. And there are times where I will randomly, unintentionally just look out in the sky and be like, holy crap, there's a lot of things going on. I've done a lot of stuff. That's kind of cool.
We talked about that yesterday.
Right. And it does feel good to sit back. I think a couple months ago, we were out walking or at dinner or something, and I just opened up my phone and opened up a note on my phone and just started writing down, like, over the past 5 years, what have I done? And then you get this list and you're like, wow, I can't feel bad about anything, right? I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff that's been worked on. There's a lot of progression that's been made. So it definitely, a lot of times we get stuck on ourselves because we're not making the progress we feel like we should be
we're
making.
so focused on this one thing we're trying to change, like weight loss.
It's always a good idea every once in a while to look back and kind of say, hey, wait a second, I'm not where I was. Like I texted my parents this weekend and said, hey, graduation official Friday, I'm actually done, and we talked about this as well. Just the idea of me getting a bachelor's degree, much less going for my master's, much less having a massive desire to go for the doctorate. Like
He never would have.
you guys can't even understand how excited I am to go through this process. It's going to be annoying because it's going to take forever and I'm not a patient person, but I'm really excited to go through this process.
You're not patient.
But just the idea of getting a bachelor's, then going for my master's, so just being able to say that I got my master's is only a few years. It was just a few years ago that just the idea of me even having any degree wasn't something I ever thought I would even want, much less would have, right? For the longest time, and this is an interesting thought, for the longest time, especially in my career in IT, my identity was based on getting where I got without having a degree. My identity was,
Wow, okay.
I am at this level, I am doing this
Without
level of
having a
work, I'm
degree.
making this
Yep.
much money, I'm in this position, I'm doing all
I
of these
can do
things.
this without that.
I've never needed a degree. Look at me, like this is ridiculous. It's all pointless. To now where it's like, hold on a second, there is something else here. I now have something I'm even more passionate. To be able to say that I'm more passionate about health and nutrition and fitness than I am technology, I can't even explain to y'all
what that
means and what that looks like. But to now be here where it's like all I want to do is just get more
Amy
information
said,
and learn.
you worked in IT, that's my career.
Yeah, I've been
He
in
still
IT
does.
since 1996. Been a while. Been a minute.
You old.
Been a minute.
We're not going to talk about where I was in 96.
And all of it was self-taught. Like everything that I've done over the past almost 30 years is I taught myself. So that being able to say that has always been part of my identity in that space. So it's just cool. That part of it is cool. But I'm looking more towards the doctor piece of it and being able to say, hey, you know what? I'm a doctor. Doctor. And it's not going to be Dr. Bronson or Dr. Dan. It's going to be Coach Bronson, Doctor of Health Science. That's how I'm planning on doing it.
I like it.
Now, obviously, in different scenarios, it'll have to be Dr. Dan or whatever, but in general, Coach Bronson, I'm not losing Coach Bronson. I will always be a coach. I can't not think like a coach. That is just how my brain works.
It's tattooed on you.
It's tattooed on my soul. Yeah, so it will be that. Okay. So, and yes, Dustin, good point. I love the nerd text. I love the nerd tech stuff, but the health and wellness is my drive. Yes, but the cool thing about it, and this is Providence, everything that I've done in my tech career translates 100% to health and fitness. What I do in tech is primarily make the complicated, super hard to understand technology things applicable and usable for people. And that's exactly what I do in health and science, in health and fitness.
Is, yeah.
Right? I am the translator. My job in tech has always been to be the interpreter and kind of say, hey, there's all of these cool things we got going on. What are we actually trying to do? What technology works and how do we fit these things together? And that's what I'm doing here.
You're a translator.
So,
I
I'm a
love
translator.
that.
That's what I do.
That's the best way to describe it.
Okay, that being said, let's talk about our topics. I have a topic from last week that we didn't talk about.
Oh.
So
it's not really a topic.
It's a topic.
It's a statement.
It is a topic. I'm going to give you guys the hack to make every meal the best meal you've ever had. Okay? It's two things. Number one.
I disagree, but I agree with
you've got a different thing because your preferences are different. You have a different palate. You have much more of a Mediterranean palate.
But I do agree with half of what
you would agree with that because it is right. So okay, number one, maybe it's three things. Salt, as always. You cannot eat anything that doesn't have salt because salt makes everything taste better.
It brings out the flavors, the natural flavors, the other spices that you
If you combined salt with garlic on any of your meats, I love ground beef. I do. Right now, I'm eating one of my meals every day. Every day. A pound of ground beef scrambled in with 6 eggs. Guys, I'm telling you, salt, garlic, and then you're ready for the best part when you put it all together. Slap your mama. Slap your mama spices, Cajun spices, in with the garlic, in with the salt, all together. I am a ketchup guy. I have always been a ketchup guy. And anytime I'm eating ground beef, eggs, I just habitually, traditionally, I've always put ketchup because to me, that brings out and adds to the flavor. I'll even now make this meal, pull out the ketchup, have it ready to go, and then be done with the meal before I even think to put ketchup on it because it's so freaking good.
Yay! Boom,
Right?
ketchup.
It's just, I can't, there's no need to add anything else.
Okay,
It's amazing.
Amy says, where do you get Slap Your Mama? So you can get it on Amazon.
You can get it on Amazon.
Like
I get like
packs.
a 3-pack container.
And they have like 3 different types.
Right, I just get the
main
traditional,
the original
Cajun.
The original one, and all it is salt, black pepper, red pepper, and garlic.
That's amazing.
That's all it is.
So you could just
make
do
it
the garlic
yourself.
and salt and just add the red and black pepper if you want to.
Salt, black pepper, red pepper, and garlic. You
Yes.
can make your own Slappy Mama if you can't get it. It's also in like Walmart. I think Walmart might be the only store I've found it in.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's not in the bougie healthy stores.
Right, I just get it on Amazon. So, yeah, guys, I'm telling you,
Now,
it makes everything just.
I will say the salt and garlic, yes.
But you
on everything.
other stuff. You put.
But I have like my go-tos as well, and it's more Mediterranean, like you said. So I'll definitely do the salt and garlic as a base on pretty much everything. But then I will do dill. I love dill and lemon together. That's what I've been doing in my lamb soup this week. When I do salmon, I love to put dill on salmon.
Salmon?
And then my other Greek Mediterranean spices that I love, za'atar, allspice, cinnamon. What's the other one that I do with that? I think there's another one, but it's all the warm spices, especially with lamb and beef. And then for the other thing I do with beef, what is it? Oh, cumin, curry, spices.
Cinnamon.
Yeah, I already mentioned
You did that? Okay,
cinnamon.
I was reading, so sorry.
But I'll do that. I'll mix some cinnamon in with that as well. And there's one other that I do. Oh, shawarma.
Oh, yes. You do the shawarma.
And Whole Foods has a really good shawarma mix. So good. Yeah. Juliana, you had a shawarma spice. Yeah, exactly. Shawarma, za'atar, like
I love how they know
curry.
what you eat better
They
than
know.
you know what you eat.
It's any of those on repeat, and I'll swap them out.
Yeah.
Now, for some of you are sensitive to spices, and I will say I can't do the curry and the cumin as often, the shawarma as often as I do the other stuff. So I do think something with the red peppers and the chili peppers bothers me.
What is going on with your veins right now?
It looks like I have a pump.
Babe.
Like
What the heck?
I didn't do anything different today than normal.
Goodness gracious.
No, it's crazy. But I dropped 2 pounds on the scale this morning. So for those of
I need to
you
go to
who
hit the
don't
gym.
know,
I'm going to start working out before we do these videos.
I didn't even do anything to get a pump. I'm
What
just
in
pumped
the
today.
world?
I just
You must
dropped.
be dehydrated.
I dropped water weight.
You're dehydrated.
I dropped water weight because, by the way, Monday Masterclass tomorrow night is going to be a prep update. I've only done one prep update so far, and I'm going into week 8 of my prep this week. And we've mentioned it before that both of us were not losing for the first 6 weeks.
Well, I'm going to talk about that a little bit.
He started dropping. I have not. I still maintained. And then this week, I have been going into a GAPS healing diet because I've been dealing with this underlying cold something for the last 2 weeks that I can't shake. So yesterday was my first full GAPS intro day.
And you lost 2 pounds.
I lost 2 pounds overnight, but it was all from my lean mass, my muscle mass, according to InBody, which means I dropped water. Yeah. That's all water weight. Yep. So that's why I'm looking crazy vascular right now.
Yep. And just to mention that, if you have a scale, a bioelectric impedance scale, usually, and this isn't 100%, but usually, if you have a sudden loss in lean mass, it's likely water. If you have a sudden loss or increase in both, if you have a sudden loss or increase in fat mass, it's usually inflammation. So just a general rule
on the short term is what he's talking about,
to keep an eye on. Yeah.
This is why we look at our trends over time to see if we actually are losing body fat, because day to day, even week to week, it could be something as simple as inflammation or water.
Right. So
take the short term stuff with a grain of salt, mark it down, look at it later, and then look at it over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks at a time, and that's where you'll really see what's actually happening with you.
Trends make the difference, not individual measurements.
Yeah, so we haven't talked about yours yet today.
I'm really happy with where it's at right now. I was not really happy the first few weeks.
No, you were not.
So we are, let me count the weeks now. How many weeks in?
You're farther than me, so you're probably 8 or 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks in.
Yeah, I'm
so 9 weeks in. I didn't really start going down. The first week I had a drop that didn't also have a go up the next week, right? Where it went dropped and then it started dropping.
Is it 4 weeks
ago? Whoop.
Oh.
What did you just do?
I don't know. I clicked on it.
You just broke it. You broke it.
I was gonna say that. I have been around him for too long. That's like the next thing that comes to my mind is how he would say it.
So we're looking at body fat. Body fat was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It took me 5 weeks to get my first consistent drop. And it was like, what the heck is going on?
And technically 6 because that was the first drop.
Week. Right. The second week was 0.1% less. So technically it was still a drop.
6 weeks in, it's stuck.
Right.
The drop stuck.
7 weeks was it dropped again, and then it's been dropping consistently since. So
for the last 4-ish weeks, you've had consistent drops.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 weeks ago, I was at 19% body fat. As of this morning, I'm at 15.9.
Woo. So you've dropped 3%.
So 3% in 6 weeks.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks.
5 weeks. 3% in 5 weeks. Poundage-wise, that's 37 pounds of fat to 31 pounds of fat. So 6 pounds
of fat
in 5 weeks. Just a little over 1 pound a week. Which, guess what? That's kind of what we're looking
healthy rate of
for.
Loss. Yep.
Okay. But
muscle
look at
mass.
this. This is the interesting
thing. This is really cool. Wow.
6 weeks ago, my muscle mass, skeletal muscle mass, was just over 90 pounds. This morning, just over 94 pounds. How crazy is that? So I've lost 6 pounds of fat and gained 4 pounds of muscle.
Which means 2 pounds of weight.
6 weeks.
Right? So it's only a 2 pound difference in weight.
Total weight.
This is what we try to tell y'all, not to focus so much on the weight.
Yep.
If he was only looking at weight, how discouraged would you be right now?
I've only lost 2 pounds in 9
weeks.
9 weeks. Right. But
looking at the body composition and not just at one point in time, but over time,
yep,
it's clear you've gotten recomp.
This is something that we talked about yesterday that we can have another conversation because I want to get into the whole thing. And this is actually a topic that we have on our list.
Yes.
Because we got into a fight yesterday. But I've lost weight. I've lost fat. I've gone into a deficit, but my BMR has gone up.
Because of your lean mass.
Partly, yes. So I just think that's really cool to kind of look at.
And the way these track, the way BIA scales are tracking, when your BMR goes up, it's directly connected to the lean mass.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's how they're figuring.
So there's a whole bunch of stuff, but that's just something I thought was related to what we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I don't really care about that. It's just interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's just something to think about, guys. Number 1, individual measurements don't really matter. Number 2, the trends do. Number 3, sometimes it takes time and little changes. Because what are the changes I made? The only change that I made was, I need to drop another 15 grams of fat out of my diet. Right? When I started, I was doing about 145, went to about 135, went to 120. So 120 is the goal I have now, and I'm staying usually between 110 and 120 on average. And guess what? Consistent drop. My protein is still high. I think I'm averaging 200 plus a day right now, and that's where it's been for who knows how long. I've always been there. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Now I have to just worry about loose skin.
Yep.
Because even we have to deal with that.
Too.
Even we have to deal with that. And it's, yeah, I get it, guys. You look at it and you're like, oh man, but I'd rather have that than be unhealthy. So, there was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, in case you were wondering, we are doing this on a new scale, right? We have a InBody. What's the new one called? The H30. InBody Dial H30. If you go to, do you have it in your links?
You were supposed to give me the new code.
I haven't gotten the new code, but the old code still works. So the old link still works. So you can go get a little discount on getting one, but we have it. She uses it every day. I use it once a week. It's a great way to track what's going on with your body. I am a big fan of InBody itself. I've been using InBody devices since 2016, 2017 for a while. So
it's a long time.
Go check it out.
I reminded my community yesterday that my website now has a dedicated place for all of my affiliate and brand partnerships. So NatalieJGrasso.com. The page is called Coach Nat's Favorites. You can find the website in my socials, all my socials. Check that out for any brands before you pay full price, because all of the brands that I recommend and that I have codes for or links for that give you a discount all exist there, including his InBody link. So I've included some of his links, or most, if not all of your links there as well.
Yeah. And I think I have your link tree in all the descriptions for the videos. So
okay, cool.
Good. So because we changed our format, do we want to just answer questions on the fly now? Because we can just, we don't have anything. It's not like we're interrupting anything specific.
Let's go for what we've seen so far, and then we can dive into the rest of it.
So let's see. I did see a couple questions. No, where'd it go? Come back. Live chat. Okay. Keto Brains. Karen likes your Keto Brains. She says, I'll be happy to take a free bag anytime you want to throw one my way.
She won the prize in my challenge.
Okay.
So she got her free bag.
I did see some questions. Juliana says tuna pouches look like C4 to TSA.
Oh.
Let's see. Dustin says he wants to meet Arnold.
Yeah, the Arnold. The Arnold.
Okay, low carb spin. Karen, new person to the channel. Met you guys at Ketopalooza.
Yay!
What strategies should one use if dealing with high cortisol, under 20 total carbs, active? Do I incorporate fasting? I'm prioritizing sleep. Stuck.
Oh boy. Okay, so
start?
I gotta start because I did a masterclass all about cortisol. By the way, on my YouTube, Keto Bikini Secrets, check that out. It's still one of the more recent ones that I did. It was requested for a very long time. So if you want to go down the rabbit hole on cortisol, check that out. My question for you would be, how do you know you have high cortisol?
Yeah, a lot of people say they do, but they've never actually had it tested. So
Because
if you haven't had it
everybody in this
tested,
space is screaming high cortisol, could be low cortisol. There could be a disrupted circadian rhythm. There's so much to unpack there. So wondering why you're thinking it might be high cortisol.
Yeah.
Under 20 total carbs active. I'm curious also how lean you are.
How lean, and what do you mean by active?
Right. So
These are the types of questions where if you were in the community, if you were in KBB, you could ask these questions and get and provide a little more feedback, where there could be a back and forth that's ongoing, and it's not just asking us. Because it's hard for us to answer some of these questions without
so many more questions.
asking you a whole bunch more questions, because there is no one answer. Right? There is understanding what's going on, and we have to look at a menu of options of the things that could apply based on what you've got going on in your life. So,
and this is what we do in our coaching.
Right.
We both work one-on-one. He now is focused and specializing with athletes, because because that's going to be his doctoral work. I work
That sounds kind of
with,
cool.
right?
Doctoral. It's my
See?
doctoral work.
Catching feels over here.
Right.
I work with women over 40, anywhere up into your 70s, even 80s. If you're 80, I'll take it. On training, nutrition, low carb, anything from zero carb all the way up to the highest ends of the low carb spectrum, keto, carnivore, paleo, everything in between. But this is what we do. We dig into the information. We ask for a lot more information from our clients, and then we dig into, what could potentially be creating issues, and we attack one thing at a time so we can look at all the variables and what's the word I'm looking for? Control the variables so we can determine what might be going on. I'm going to jump to this question here because
Go for it. I'm looking for any others.
Kelly Sue says, so is a cortisol test not worth it? So there are multiple types of tests you could get for cortisol. There are blood tests. A lot of people do not recommend blood tests because it's only going to tell you one point in time. So a blood test, if you are going to get a blood test for cortisol, I would look at getting an AM cortisol test. The earlier in the morning, the better, because you want your cortisol to be high in the morning. There's a particular AM range it should be in. There's a particular PM range it should be in. But still, the blood test is only going to give you one point in time. So saliva cortisol tests are a better test to give you the full range for the day. Typically, they're going to be 4 times in a day. If you're doing the 1 time a day saliva test, I wouldn't recommend that. I would do the 4 times a day so you can look at the rhythm. Yeah. Because you want to look at the cortisol rhythm. You should have a curve where it's highest in the morning, it starts sloping downwards, and it's the lowest in the evening. So that can detect whether or not you actually are dealing with some dysregulated cortisol.
Yep. I just saw a question. Now where did it go? Oh, are you both more keto or carnivore at this point in your journey?
So this man's a carnivore.
All day.
All the time.
All meat, all day.
And we've talked before, he's talked before about how things differ when he's dialed in for a goal like he is now versus living life.
Well,
more
example.
recent, and this is a more recent shift you've made
because I'm trying to cut.
You were not even this one. I'm talking about letting things slack a little bit in your lifestyle.
Oh yeah.
Like that was not the way it was for your first 5-6 years of carnivore.
Correct. Well, so everything's a progression, right? So because this it's a challenge and it's tricky. We talk about we've done a video. I think we did a video last year on the success trap.
Yes.
And this is what she's referencing, and that is I started carnivore in 2018. And it wasn't until just a couple years ago, probably 2 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. I don't know how long. It's one of those things, I don't know how long I've been saying 2 years. So it's maybe a little over 2 years now that I realized, wait a second, I'm doing things with my diet, my fitness, my nutrition, my lifestyle, as if I still have progress to make in my health journey. Right? I'm doing things as if I'm still trying to heal my IBS, my urgent bowels. I'm still trying to heal the chronic injuries and the glycation and all the stuff that I'm dealing with in my body. I had gotten so dialed into that's just how I do carnivore. That's just how I do it that I just never stopped. And then I'm sitting here. How long have we been here? It's however long we've been here.
About 1.5 years.
Was it? I think it was here.
Almost 2 years.
I'm looking out the window and I'm thinking, remember that time like when soon after we moved in here?
Yes.
And I'm just like, we're here. Like we're at a point now where it's icing on the cake. It's what's next for us, not what do I need.
Yes.
Right? And I don't have to live so regimented anymore. And that was freeing. That was really awesome. But then it also created a new challenge in that I had to redefine what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, because it's like opening the gate with a dog And you know the dog's going to get out. You know the cat's going to get out. You know the kid's going to get. It's like letting your kids go out of the yard for the first time without you watching them. That's the best analogy.
That's a good analogy.
Right? So, it's the boundaries are not required. They're free to go out on their own, but have you taught them what they need so that they can be safe and have fun at the same time?
Ooh, that's good.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm at that point now where it's like, okay, I'm going to open the back gate. I'm just going to go out and have fun, right? And it was great. Nothing really bad happened. But after a couple of years, I'm looking at the scale. I'm like, oh, I'm at 19% body fat. I don't like that number. It's too close to 20, right? And it's like, okay, something needs to change. I need to reevaluate and then get back onto this more regimented lifestyle so that I can get back to where I feel comfortable with myself, right? So it's not a health thing.
Yeah.
It's not a performance thing. It's not I'm feeling sick again. It's
Your
not I'm getting hurt
system can handle
again.
it now.
Yeah, I'm free to do whatever version of this I want to do. I'm making a choice because of where I feel comfortable with my body is not where it went.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool process.
To answer the question about, are we keto carnivore? Even then, when you were including and allowing like an indulgence here and there, it was here and there. You were still 95
or higher, right? Because it was usually on a weekend.
Yep.
We'd go to brunch, and it would be hash browns or home fries or something. Or even during the week, if it was like, hey, I'm going to go to Five Guys, I'm also getting fries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it wasn't like it was
or sauce
totally
on
changing.
Wings with sauce versus wings clean.
Yeah.
Or ice cream.
Ice cream. That was probably the biggest one. Ice cream would probably be the biggest one. I would do that like more weekends in a row.
Yep. And so dialing it in, he just
ice cream.
takes that stuff out. That was the first step before you started adjusting your macros.
Right. And that's the cool thing about it, right? There was nothing hard about what do I need to do in order to get back into a more regimented routine.
Right. You didn't change
it's obvious.
everything you were doing.
I didn't change my macros. I didn't change my workout routine. I didn't try to do a whole bunch of, it's just, I should probably stop having ice cream and I should probably stop having French fries. That was the first thing I did. Did that for a few weeks. That was part of my get back into a baseline. My baseline was literally just cutting out those things I already knew I had added in that weren't helping.
Yep.
And then it was, okay, now I'm doing this for a few weeks, nothing's happening. Maybe I should also cut out dairy.
That's right.
That was the next thing.
Yep.
Okay, now I'm doing this for a few more weeks, still nothing's happening. Maybe it's time to drop my fat down.
Yep.
Right, so it was a progression of, okay, what's going on? But because I've been through it, because I was already in a place where it's just a matter of adjusting and it wasn't a lot of mental thing. It's pretty.
And so now, I mean, he said earlier, like his diet is a pound of ground beef and 6 eggs for one meal. And then you got your chicken at work.
Yeah, so I do at work. I eat, if you guys are not aware, I still need to contact them and see if they have an affiliate code because I love it.
He loves it.
There's a pre-packaged, pre-cooked sous vide chicken breast product called Impeccable Chicken. You just I buy like 40 at a time. It's about almost 60 grams of protein for two. It's like 27 grams each in each chicken breast. I do 2 chicken breasts at work for lunch. I do a serving of whey protein in a shake in the mid-afternoon at work. And then at home, I do a pound of ground beef and 6 eggs. And that's what I eat pretty much every day.
Yeah. So
and then on the weekends,
this guy's carnivore.
She fries up some
chicken thighs
and or beef fat in the air fryer. And I'll do some of that on the weekends.
This week, I made a bunch of meat in the crock pot and then all the fat cap comes off.
And she just
and
air
I've been
fries
putting
it all.
in the air fryer. The lamb fat and then the beef fat. And the beef fat was from beef shank and oxtails.
Yep.
Amazing. The flavor from the oxtail is insane, y'all. It is, I can't believe I lived 40 years of my life before I ever tried oxtails. So for me, I live more of a ketovore, like close to carnivore, but keto diet. I call it, mostly carnivore
Mostly
with
carnivore.
a few extras.
Sure.
And for me, a lot of the extras come from not eating dairy. So I'll do a lot of coconut, coconut milk, coconut yogurt, and then protein, protein powder stuff, pickles, olives, sauerkraut.
Every once in a while, you do
fermented
some
foods.
avocado every once in a while.
Yeah, every 6 months or so. Like I
Yeah.
don't do avocado very often, but every once in a while I'll throw that in there. And then from time to time when I'm feeling like I want more carbs, then I'll throw in some fruit. And my fruit of choice usually is wild blueberries, grapefruit. Right now I just bought a bunch of lemons because I'm doing a lot of lemon in my soups, like I said, and some of my cooking. I'm actually, because I mentioned the GAPS diet. The GAPS diet is one of the best healing diets in my opinion. So I'm diving back into that. Like I said, I've had some kind of like underlying, I've gotten sick too many times this year. So I'm diving back into that to really nourish my gut. So I'm doing more probiotic foods and meat stocks, meat broths, and meat
Yeah,
cooked
if you're
in the
not
broth.
familiar with the GAPS diet, this book,
It's called Gut and Psychology Syndrome and Gut and Physiology Syndrome. This is the newer book, Gut and Physiology Syndrome. There's also a yellow book called Gut and Psychology Syndrome, the original version way back in the day. That one, the original one, opened my eyes to so much and connected the dots to so many things in my life.
Yeah.
From being a premature baby to having an eating disorder to so many of the things in that gut and psychology syndrome. So for anybody who deals with any kind of cognitive or mental health issues, gut and psychology syndrome is the book for you. If your issues are more physiological conditions, this is amazing. So she connects the dots on our gut microbiome, fungi, bacteria.
yeah, if anybody's ever wondering about how, what is this whole idea that nutrition is medicine, these just
Amazing,
read these
amazing.
books. Yeah.
So yeah, I've been diving back into that. So I had literally just a few weeks ago decided, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, decided to add some blueberries and grapefruit and some of the other fruits and higher carb things into my diet, and my carbs
Which
got
are
up
out
to
now.
maybe like 35, 40 grams of carbs total in a day. And so this week I dropped that stuff back out, which is also probably why the 2-pound drop. Because when you take those carbs out, you lose a lot of water weight at first. So now I'm back to like 20 grams or less.
Yep.
Because it's a lot of just meat broth, meats, and then the fermented. I'm still doing the fermented foods, but that's so few carbs. It's like 1 carb or less per serving. So my total carbs, I have not cut out the coffee yet. So the GAPS protocol, the full GAPS diet, because there's a full GAPS diet and then there's an intro protocol if you're really trying to dive in to the gut healing the most. That is more just basically meat broth, stocks, and fermented, like the juices of fermented foods and
Not the actual.
making your own yogurt and kefir and stuff, but not the fiber part of it. So the full GAPS diet, weak coffee, which is what I've done this week. I've shifted to weaker coffee and less of it. I'm going to then move into decaf so I can come off of the caffeine slowly, and then I'll phase it out entirely and do some bone broth instead or meat stock instead.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say, do you have some questions? I see people posting stuff.
Roughsia says,
Roughsia.
how much fat do you eat in a day? How much fat do you eat in a day?
Right now I'm around 110 to 120 on average. Some on a low day it'll be like 105.
That's interesting because I'm right around the same. This week, as I've been doing the meat broths, I've been tracking just to kind of see where things land and not trying to hit macros at this stage. But it's been interesting. My protein and fat have been about 1-to-1 and sitting around like the 115 grams each.
My protein and fat are about 2-to-1. Almost 2-to-1. I'm doing about 200. Probably 220, 25 on average.
Protein.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So that answers that question. Is there any other questions on your side?
Kelly Sue, can consistently high cortisol then lead to elevated glucose to high A1C, even if strict keto, 20 to 30 total carbs? My A1C is now 6.5, but also live with high stress as a caregiver.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, big time.
Yeah,
Big time.
for sure.
Stress, and let's just call it stress.
Yeah.
Like, I think my big gripe with cortisol is we're calling it cortisol. Let's just call it stress. Let's call it what it is, because it may or may not be cortisol. It may or may not be adrenaline. There's different stress hormones that are not just cortisol.
And hold on. And we want to stop blaming problems on hormones that are just doing their job.
Yes.
Cortisol is not the problem. Insulin is not the problem. What you're doing to stimulate it all of the time in a dysfunctional pattern is the problem.
That.
So we need to stop blaming our problems on
the hormones
that our body makes to do a specific thing, because whatever we're doing is making it do things that are not beneficial to our life.
We just did a topic on that.
We talked about
recently.
that recently, yeah.
What was the title? Do you remember?
I don't remember. Just go watch all of our videos for the past 6 months and you'll catch it.
Yeah, but basically, for Kelly Sue and anybody else who is living in a high stress situation, you absolutely must. It should be the top of your priority list before macros, before keto, carnivore, whatever else. You need to find ways to reduce your overall stress load. This does not mean no longer being a caregiver if you cannot change that. This means finding ways.
We're getting into a whole new talk right now.
To regulate your nervous system. There's a million resources out there, but there is a website, there is a YouTube channel that I absolutely love that I recommend to my community all the time. It is called Therapy in a Nutshell. She is amazing. And she has videos on simply how to regulate your nervous system.
Yep.
Also look up vagal tone, vagus nerve, how to stimulate your vagus nerve, because if you can manage that side of things, it does not matter if the world is burning down around you. If you can learn how to how to take yourself out of a sympathetic nervous system response and bring it down into parasympathetic, which is your rest and digest, in any situation at any time, it will completely change your life.
Let's talk about the stress thing for a second.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite topics, and I have a book in my head about stress as a whole. Everything that you just said, absolutely. I want to add, the biggest thing about stress management is removing stress or improving your capacity to deal with stress. That's it.
We have also another favorite social media person.
Go look up on TikTok or Instagram.
Both.
The capacity expert.
Raquel,
fabulous. Your ability to handle things and your perception on how things are is a huge factor in your overall stress.
Game changer.
So capacity is a huge factor. Now, how does this tie into what we do outside of all the mindset stuff when we talk about fitness and nutrition, okay? When we talk about removing things and improving capacity, nutrition does that for your internal biology. Get rid of all the crap and you're removing stress from your body.
Physiologically, yes.
Biologically.
Okay.
We'll talk about the physiological. There's the chemical aspects, the nutrition, and all the things, right?
Things.
Which one is it? Is it neurological? Is it biological? Is it physiological? Within your body. So we could say physiologically, within your body. but it's doing it inside, right? We're going to provide nutrients. We're going to provide protein. We're going to eat enough food.
We're going to remove the stressors
to allow our body to have a greater capacity to deal with stress. Okay? So nutrition, get rid of the crap, you're removing stress. Eat the right things and enough of them, and you improve capacity. Fitness, stop overworking yourself and overtraining at high intensity and not taking rest days and only doing cardio, right? Remove that extra stress that's not really benefiting you. Give yourself more recovery days. Focus on building strength and lean mass and physical capacity, and that will help you on the physical side of your body's ability to handle stress, right? So both nutrition and fitness have an removal of stress component and an increase in capacity component.
Yes.
And when you tie those two things together, that's kind of where this stuff kind of comes all together. Hope that helps.
Love it.
Okay. Dustin says, "How do you know?" I know you're gonna take this one and run. We're gonna be here for half an hour.
What is it?
How do you know for sure of your macros when making your food, considering there can be variables in food? How do you know your macros are really your macros?
Oh boy. Well, you gotta...
Especially, well, we'll throw in a little wrinkle because there's a follow-up question from someone to add on to someone else. And I don't know if this is where you were going, Dustin, but this is the direction we're going to go.
Accuracy and tracking.
Yes, Dustin. Yes, Keto Simple, says Marie. It's so frustrating and time-consuming when you make a recipe.
Okay.
Let's take it from that perspective.
I see where you're going. Okay. This is why I highly recommend for my clients, even the ones who love their recipes, give the recipes a break. Like, stop it with the damn recipes. Like, just pick a meat or two, a fat or two, and guess what? That comes on the meat. If you're choosing certain meats that have fats on them already, you don't have to add anything. It's the easiest thing to do. If you want to have some vegetables, if you can handle vegetables, throw a veggie in there. Boom, there's your meal. We talked earlier about...
The easiest way to de-stress your life when it comes to food is to stop making the food you're eating complicated.
Simplify it. We talked about some of our favorite seasonings.
Yeah.
None of those were a million steps and a million things to track. We don't track our spices. I have never tracked a spice other than salt when I'm trying to track my sodium. That's the only thing I will ever weigh out if I'm, using seasonings. So you don't have to create recipes with all those ingredients. So if your recipes are just a meat, a fat source that may just already come on the meat, and maybe a vegetable, it's simple. And this is something that bodybuilders do. The reason why you see these meal plans that bodybuilders eat, and it's the same thing every day, is for simplicity's sake, for tracking accuracy. Yeah. The most important thing when it comes to tracking is consistency. So if you are, let's say it is off, because all labels can be off by up to 20%. So it's not gonna be perfect. So some of it you just have to let it go and say, I'm not gonna know exactly.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But some of the things we do to manage that is, well, if I'm tracking and I'm eating similar things over time, same things over time, and I change the amounts of those things I'm eating, the variable is staying the same and we're changing the amounts. So even if it's not the same, if I'm cutting fat and I was eating 3 tablespoons of butter with my eggs before and I'm eating 2 tablespoons of butter now, I'm still lowering my fat. Whether or not the entry for butter was perfectly accurate doesn't matter.
With everything, guys, accuracy is less important than trends.
And consistency.
Right? Trends assume there's consistency, right? If you're not being consistent, then the trends aren't telling you anything.
Actually, that's something we need to say again.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you're not able to properly determine the trends, or if you're not consistent, the trends are not going to matter.
Right.
So if you've got holes in your data because you tracked on this day, you didn't track on that day, you tracked half the day on this day, you're not going to be able to determine anything from the trends. So, what you got?
Even if you are tracking everything, if you're not doing the things that you need to do,
Meaning?
and then you're asking questions, because we have clients that will ask us, or they'll express frustration, or they'll ask about, well, maybe I should do this, or I need a macro change.
It's so common, yeah.
I need adjustments to my macros. And then you look at what they're tracking and you're like, you're not hitting the macros you have set now. So adjusting your macros doesn't help. Setting a number in the sky isn't going to change your body. You have to hit those numbers when it comes to macros. You have to hit that consistently and then see what happens to your body.
Yeah, so I always say I can't
that's
change
one of
your
the things, right?
macros if you're not following them or you're not tracking consistently.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to look at your data and be like, I can't determine anything from this.
Right.
So make sure you've got that consistency in there and you're already hitting what you're supposed to be hitting. Here's a deep dive question on tracking. Should I be tracking in grams or ounces or serving sizes? Okay, so all of these things matter. Grams and ounces translate to one another. So if 1 ounce is 28 grams, if you had 29 grams instead of 28 grams, it's not going to make that big of a difference. So I usually use ounces, especially for larger portions.
Yeah.
If you're doing something small, then it's better to use grams because you're maybe not even hitting an ounce of it. Or, grams are always going to be the most accurate. If you want to be accurate down to the gram, then track it in grams.
Right.
But they're translatable, right? So
for me, I think it's easier to track my food in ounces, and I use chronometer. It converts my food into the macros in grams.
Right.
And that's kind of, so when we're talking about, I'm not tracking my macros in ounces, that's almost impossible.
No,
your macros, right? Protein, carbs,
it's
fat,
always going to show you
that's
your
always
macros
going to be in
grams.
grams. So I just
But
put my
your
food in
food-
ounces. That's how I do it.
Yeah. And
But I'm sure Jonathan in the UK, in Europe, he uses grams for his food. I'm sure,
Probably,
right?
yeah.
People in Australia.
Yeah.
So it's 6 of one, half of the other.
that doesn't really matter. Now, serving sizes, this is important. The only thing that matters here is if you're look to see if the serving size has how many ounces, how many grams. It should. Right? So once again, that's translatable to the ounces or the grams.
Right.
Remember that you can have a portion of a serving. So this is something I've had to bring up with clients before. Oh, 1 serving, it will put me over my macros. So what do I do? Well, you can have half of a serving. You can have a 3/4 of a serving. That's where if 1 serving is putting you over or under, you can track, you can have it the specific grams of that food. And who cares if it's considered a serving on the label or not? Mm-hmm. For example, I do my Kulina coconut yogurt. 1 serving is like 4 or 5 ounces. I use an ounce of it at a time. So I'll track 1 ounce.
Divide it up, yeah.
And I'll weigh out 28 grams or 1 ounce on my scale. And that's how I do that. So yeah, that doesn't matter as much.
Yep.
One more thing I want to mention on the accuracy piece. So, and this is a little frustrating because the most nutrient dense foods you can eat are fatty meats. The meat that already has the fat on it, so you're not having to add fat to it. Mm-hmm. But the least accurate in terms of tracking are fatty meats. Because you cannot control exactly how much fat is in that ribeye, from one ribeye to the next, or from one pound of oxtail to the next, right? So something we do in bodybuilding when we really want to dial in, and actually you've done this because you are now doing a lot of chicken breast, right? we focus on lean proteins and then we add the fat so we can be more accurate about how much fat we're using.
And somebody asked over here, I think too, it might have been on here or here about, so I'll just say, somebody here asked, do you measure fat? Oh, it's on here. Do you measure meat before or after cooking? And does it change the fat content when you drain off fat? So that's another technique, is especially with like ground beef. I'll just use ground beef as an example. If you really want to get specific, you can cook up the ground beef, drain off the fat, and then measure the fat, right? And then pour it back on. And then you have a better idea, slightly more accurate idea of what fat you're actually getting with the meat.
Yeah, so I want to talk about this topic. That is such a good question. So, okay, typically the most accurate, if you're going to eat all the fat that renders out of that meat,
Is before.
pour it back on or whatever, is just to weigh it raw and use the raw weight as your entry.
Yeah.
If you're doing this, make sure you're using a raw entry. Don't assume that an entry that you select in Chronometer or whatever app you're using is raw.
Right.
Make sure it says it. And generally my recommendation is to use USDA entries if you don't have a label you can scan for that particular brand. Use USDA because that is always going to tell you raw or cooked. If it's cooked, it's going to have what type of cooking it is. Because the thing that messes with the accuracy with cooked meats is that something air fried versus something braised or something boiled or something slow cooked or something grilled, they're all going to have different ending weights, and that is because they lose water. And they do also render out fat. So what you're going to see if you compare a cooked versus a raw 4-ounce piece of chicken, for example, it's going to look like the macros changed in the cooking. They did not. The protein content of 4 ounces of chicken, raw, is the same as it is after you cook it. The difference is the total weight has changed because it lost water and some fat. So 4 ounces of chicken raw might be 3 ounces of chicken cooked, but it could be 2 ounces of chicken cooked based on how long you cooked it and the type of cooking you used. The drier it gets, i.e. frying and grilling, versus braising, sous vide, the things that maintain the moisture, it's going to be a different cooked weight. And this is why it's important to look at things like the USDA. It will tell you pan fried. It'll tell you all these different options that you can choose. So however you are weighing it, make sure you select the appropriate entry for how you are choosing to track it. That's what matters most. Make sure you're not weighing raw and then using a cooked entry.
Yep.
Or weighing cooked and then using a raw entry. It's going to be inaccurate that way. So that's what matters the most there. Something I do with my slow cooked meats, because I do a lot of stuff in the crock pot. All of this stuff I'm doing now with gaps, I'm doing in the crock pot. So I know what you just thought of. Just keep that to yourself. So here's what I do. Once it's done, it's a bunch of broth with a lot of rendered fat from the meats floating around in the broth. I separate the meat. I take that out and put it in a separate container. And then the broth, I will strain it if there's like bones and stuff I have to get out of it, or I won't. Put it all in the fridge. The fat's going to raise to the top of the broth, and then you're going to have all the broth underneath. I take the fat off. And then every time I use that meat and broth and fat again, I can actually weigh out how much meat I'm using, how much broth I'm using, and how much fat I'm using. So even though I'm now doing this fatty meat GAPS protocol, I can still track my macros pretty damn accurately.
Amy just asked a really good question.
Okay, let me answer these.
Yep.
When scanning a label, are the macros raw or cooked? So most labels are going to be for the raw amount.
Yeah.
And a lot of the
Unless
time
you're
they'll
buying something
say what it
pre-cooked.
is. Yeah, unless
If
you
it's
buy something that's
pre-cooked,
pre-cooked.
then, yeah.
Usually, at least in the US, bacon is the other way around. And you will see on the label, it will say for 1 cooked slice or 2 pan-fried slices, it'll say it. Yeah. So look on the label to double check. But most meats that you're just buying the meat raw, it's going to be raw. If you're buying it cooked, it'll be cooked. Bacon in the US will be cooked, but a lot of the bacon in other countries is actually the raw weight, so double check it. And then, do you eat OMAD, 2MAD, or several meals per day? Any fasting? Your two main meals are 2MAD.
Two main meals and a shake a day. That's
Yeah.
how I do it.
And I usually do 2 main meals, and then I might do a little snack or two.
No fasting on purpose.
Yeah, no fasting.
I did a little intermittent fasting yesterday, but that's just because I ate a big.
That's what we're doing today.
I ate late.
Oh yeah, you did.
I ate a late lunch, and then I wasn't hungry for the rest of the
And
day.
then 9:30 p.m. You're like, maybe I should try to hit my
9:30, I
macros.
was like, oh, I should probably eat this. So then I had some pepperoni. Yeah.
Yeah, and there have been times where I've done consistent 3 meals a day. So it just kind of depends. I pay attention to my body and what I'm feeling that I need. Because I still have some digestive issues I'm working through. And anybody who has digestive issues like bloating, distension, like slow gastric emptying, I would recommend smaller meals and more frequently, because like when I'm doing 2 large meals a day, sometimes it's just too much for me to digest all at once.
Yeah. And I eat, like I said, I'm thinking about the timing of how I eat. I pretty much eat in an 8-hour window. Not because I'm trying to eat in an 8-hour window, it's just that's how it works with my schedule and everything else, right? If I really wanted to, I could even extend, make that even shorter and do it a 6-hour window if I wanted to. But
yeah,
I'm not trying to intermittent fast. I'm not trying
and also,
to. Just
we should note this because some people are not very clear on coffee and what you add to coffee and whether that's fasting or not.
Sure.
We both add stuff to our coffee, so we are not fully fasted in this intermittent fasting window. Actually,
that's true. I didn't think about that. I was thinking about food. I forgot about coffee. Yeah. So technically, I have my first thing that breaks my fast around 7 o'clock in the morning.
Same.
And then the last thing I eat is usually around 6 o'clock.
Yeah. When I'm being diligent, it's the same.
11 hours total is what my intake is.
Yeah. Yeah.
From beginning to end. So not even technically intermittent fasting.
Right, exactly. And we don't worry about that.
13 hours or whatever.
Any MCT? Yes, I use MCT in my coffee.
And it's in KetoBrains.
Oh, it's in KetoBrains, so you do. Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. Okay. So Amy, I'm going to save this question for next week. We've done videos on this, and actually if you go to my YouTube channel and you look at the Coffee Talk playlist, look for tracking in the search. We've done a video on tracking. What is tracking? Should you do it? How you do it? All that kind of stuff.
But I want to read the question and I want to give a really simple answer for people.
Yeah, but I think we can maybe hit it a little bit harder next week too.
Absolutely, we can dive in.
So you want to
But her question was, do you have to track if you are doing carnivore? I thought the idea was not to have to track switching from keto to carnivore to make it easier. So it all depends on your goals, and this is what I will say.
And that's what
always.
Dustin said.
It all depends on your goals. If you are not making the progress you want to make, the only way to determine what might be going on is to track things.
You can't know what you need to change if you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
So
if your goal is to make it a sustainable lifestyle and eat intuitively and learn to really listen to your body, then of course, don't track.
Right.
And I actually have a masterclass on that too. You can check out. It's an intuitive eating masterclass. So you can check that out.
Yeah, so check out her YouTube. Check out my YouTube where
Amy
we did this.
subscribed, so thank you for subscribing.
Hey, awesome.
For anyone else who is not subscribed, Keto Bikini Secrets on YouTube.
All right, so I think I saw a new face, a new name, Pamela Dobby.
Pamela, she was one of our members.
I think she's winner. She's winner
Yay! Pamela.
That's a good question.
You win KetoBrains.
So Pamela, she can contact you with her mailing address and stuff, and then we'll get you a bag of KetoBrains.
I should have it in my Academy list.
A lot of good questions today, guys.
So many
really
good
appreciate
questions.
it.
Y'all are
we didn't
awesome.
even get to talk about the topics we had on our list other than garlic and slap your mama.
That's cool. This is the way I like it.
This is awesome.
All
this
the
is
questions
really
and
super cool.
comments. So Rufia, are you having these lives at a set schedule? I bought Bronson's audiobook.
Hey,
It's great.
awesome.
Yay. Okay. So yes,
Every
every Sunday at
10:45.
10:45-ish a.m. Eastern.
We didn't practice that. That was
Eastern U.S. New York time. So just before 11 a.m. New York time.
Yep, every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
Cool. See you guys next week. Thank you very much for joining. We appreciate you guys, and let us know if you have any other questions, topics, or things you want us to talk about.
Thanks for making today's live chat so much fun.
Very much fun.